In this video, we'll be talking a little bit about Google Calendar. And Google Calendar, if you're not already familiar with it, allows you to keep track of a variety of events. If you want to let folks know when they can use a meeting room or computer lab, you can actually set up a calendar to manage that room. You can also use Google Calendar to uh, reserve date and time specific events and invite anyone with email, or if you prefer, share a link to the calendar invite, as well as attach a Google Hangout or meeting to that calendar. So what's a quick way to get into Calendar? You could type in calendar.google.com and that would get you there. Or you could come over here to the top right hand corner when you're logged into your Google account, click on the app launcher or the waffle, and then come right here to Calendar and select Calendar. And that will allow you to get right into Calendar. So I'm going to go ahead and, if you are just accessing Calendar for the first time, you may see a updated look. I'm going to go ahead and click on Got It. If not, you will drop right into Calendar. And just right away, I like to point out a few things. I love coming up here to the top right hand corner and being able to select if I want to see just the day rather than a month, a week. Um, and then I also like the 4-day schedule. So this allows me to come in and just pick. And you'll notice that the calendar changes its view based on what dates I pick as the start. I also like the schedule view. For me, this is a really easy way to see what's happening on a particular set of dates. My calendar is pretty empty right now at this, but you can see all of the holidays are loaded in. But if I had multiple events taking place on January the 21st, those would appear one right after the other. So it makes it very easy to jump around. Now, if I wanted to add a particular event, let's say that on Tuesday the 15th, I want to attend professional development, I could type in Google Educator Level 1, and notice that I just clicked on that box. Let's do that again. I just come here to the 15th, click on it, and it's going to give me the opportunity to enter. Now, the first time it went full screen, but now that I'm adding a second event here, you can see that I can just quickly type in and decide whether this is an event, an out of office notification, a reminder, or an appointment slot. But if I want to see all the options again, I can come up down here to more options, select more options, and now I have all of that. I can go in and enter a location for this. If I want to, I can also add a Hangouts Meet. And a Hangout Meet is a little bit different than the standard Google Hangouts. I would encourage you to check the website with the resources for Hangouts Meet or how to start one. But if you wanted to add one where you could have a face-to-face conversation with the people in a meeting, you could choose to turn that on, and now this meeting is taking place online rather than face to face necessarily. Now, also down here in the description, I can come in and add an attachment. So if there was a file that I wanted to add, I could certainly do that. It'd be very easy to come in and put that in there. Also notice that, of course, I have different calendars I can choose from. So right here, this icon sort of indicates that, hey, you've got different calendars that you can use, so you can select those. So if I have this Miguel Gulen might be my personal calendar where I keep my events, but then my team might have, or department level or grade level, may have a calendar that's shared with everyone in the group, and that I would be able to add things. I can also come in and add notifications. These will sort of remind me that a meeting is coming up soon. If I don't want a notification, I can just quickly remove it. If I want to add guests, I could come over here and just quickly add people. And once those are added, they will appear in the list. Um, And that's just a very easy way to do that. Now, let's say I want to schedule a meeting, but I don't know when other people have open schedules. So I could come over here to where it says find a time. Notice how I'm able to switch back and forth, find a time, and then use this with my guest list and see if I can find an open time that we could all meet. Looks like we're all available at 8 o'clock, so that would be a good time perhaps on Tuesday the 15th. Now, once I've saved an event, once I've saved an event and I have that there, let's say that I wanted to share a particular calendar. So for example, I want to share the birthdays calendar. If I choose to display this, that's going to just show that one calendar on my screen. Um, but it is by the way, just a quick way you can bring all your calendars back in just this way. It makes it very easy to identify what calendars. So talking a little bit about sharing calendars. And before we get into that, let's take a quick look at the settings. Notice that there's language and region, time zone, world clock, event settings. You can turn on speedy meetings to shorten them. For example, you want to have a meeting, your speedy meetings are just 25 minutes or 15 minutes long. Just a nice way to customize that and make that available. Now, in addition to these settings, if I come down a little bit further, you'll see that I'm able to create a new calendar, and this is how essentially we added all of these different calendars. Create a new calendar as well as browse other calendars of interest. Now, let's say I wanted to share a particular calendar. If I wanted to share this Innovate to Elevate, I would click on it, and it's going to give me a list of all these additional settings um, that I can work from. Um, and if as I look at this, if I come down, you'll see I'm able to export the calendar, and it's going to give me an export file. That's a compressed file. You're probably not going to do that too many times. You can also choose to make a calendar available to the public, and this would be great if you were perhaps wanting to reserve rooms or things like that. And then if you wanted to get a shareable link so that anyone could access it, they would be able to do that. So if I made this available to the public and then clicked on Get Shareable, I could go to a different browser window or place, and the calendar should be able to pop up. So if I wasn't logged in, it would actually show, it might not, it would show me the calendar and not necessarily have me in it. I can also choose to share the calendar with specific people if this only affects a few folks, and I'd be able to give them different rights. They can make changes and manage sharing. So this would be great if I was sharing it with a team member who we all needed to be able to make changes and decide who to share this calendar with. Once you leave settings, you can come back. Now, you'll notice over on the left hand side there's a calendar for tasks, and if I come over here in this particular Google view, um, I now have the tasks feature. So if I click on get started, I'm able to click on add a task, and that's pretty much just a quick way to do that. Now, when I'm done, I can just close that out, and then I can always come back to tasks again and see my tasks. Now, just a quick review of the tasks. Um, you can create subtasks to each of these. If I were to click on that pencil, I'd be able to add some more details and add additional subtasks. One of the things that may come up is being able to add a task from an email. So as you can see here, I have an email. If I select that, I can come over and come over to my, I guess, what do they call this? The skinny snowman, and then say add to tasks. And what that will do is add that email to the as a task that I have created. And as you can see here, it has the tasks that I added in calendar view, but now I'm able to add them from my email as well as see them from my email. And it all works very easily from over here on the right hand side of the screen. Now, one of the expectations is that you add a lab to calendars, and I'm not sure if this will still appear on the exam, but as you look at this, you'll see that you'd probably go to your settings to add a lab. Um, if not, you can also just click on this setting, the gear, and come down to get add-ons. And this will give you a list of different add-ons. This is different than the labs, of course, um, that are available. In fact, you probably won't have to worry about the labs, adding labs to calendar, since it is no longer available. Um, so yay. Well, that's just a quick overview of calendar and some of the things that you can do in it. Thanks for watching.